After the 1985 season, which we summarized in the previous video of our Senna career playlist, with great races and many engine failures, Senna would start the year of '86 with a new Renault engine. It was the EF15B engine, an evolution of the EF15 from the previous season.
Tem muita coisa para experimentar ainda, não só no carro novo como nos motores novos. A gente andou bastante nesses 3 primeiros dias.
Senna did not hide his disappointment with the Renault engine in the '85 season.
Eu, de um momento para o outro, vi que tinha condições de lutar pelo campeonato, desde que a gente não tivesse problemas absurdos, né? Que infelizmente foi o que aconteceu eventualmente. Como sempre, a gente tinha um carro veloz em tomar de tempo, tem muitas pole position, mas na corrida tinha sempre algum probleminha que fazia necessário, tornava necessário diminuir o ritmo. E com isso, sem condição de vencer mais algumas provas.
After his great '85 season, there was a lot of speculation about Senna being hired by other, bigger teams.
As mudanças que sacudiram a Fórmula 1 por pouco não levaram também Ayrton Senna para uma outra equipe. Ele recebeu muitas propostas para isso e durante muito tempo se falou no nome de Ayrton na Brabham, na Williams, na McLaren. Mas ele acabou ficando mesmo, foi na LÓTUS.
O compromisso que eu tinha com a LÓTUS, que eu assumi há 1 ano e pouco atrás, e desde que ele fosse respeitado pela LÓTUS, eu deveria continuar normalmente, sem nenhuma possibilidade de mudança.
For the new season, Senna has as his teammate the Scotsman Johnny Dumfries, because Elio De Angelis, his teammate in 1985, is at Brabham for the 1986 season.
Johnny Dumfries diz que se sente feliz por correr numa equipe tão importante. O seu objetivo no momento é conhecer melhor a equipe e o limite do carro. Dumfries acha que Senna pode até ser campeão do mundo se o motor ajudar.
The first Grand Prix of the season will be again in Brazil in Jacarepaguá. But the stage car arrived with damage in Rio de Janeiro.
É que um dos carros da equipe, ao ser desembarcado, sofreu algumas avarias. O nariz protetor do carro de Ayrton Senna, veja como ele ficou. E a suspensão também sofreu muito. Veja só, uma das peças, que normalmente é reta, veja como ela ficou.
During qualifying, Senna took pole position, breaking the record for the Jacarepaguá circuit.
No último minuto, Senna voltou à pista e fez o tempo sensacional de 1 minuto, 25 segundos e 50 centésimos, novo recorde do circuito, que lhe garantiu a pole position.
It was Senna's first pole position in Brazil, making it a Brazilian 1-2 with Nelson Piquet on the grid. At the start, Senna had good traction in his Lotus and maintained the lead.
And it's go, a superb start for Nigel Mansell, who has already passed.
Mansell had a better start than Piquet and took second place. Nigel also decided to attack Ayrton, but the Brazilian closed the gap.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear.
You see him spin onto the grass, into the Armco. You didn't actually see him hit the Armco, but he certainly did.
On the third lap, in the same place where Mansell tried to overtake, Ayrton lost the position to his compatriot from Williams.
And through into the lead goes Nelson Piquet. Nelson Piquet leads on lap 3.
Very well done by Nelson Piquet. He made sure that he didn't get into the situation that Nigel Mansell had got in, and he got clean air and got fully past.
From then on, the Brazilians dominated the race with Piquet in first and Ayrton Senna coming in second, ensuring a great celebration from the public for the Brazilian 1-2.
Piquet wins in the Williams Honda, and it's a Brazilian in second place with Ayrton Senna. A great Brazilian Grand Prix for Brazil then. Nelson Piquet the winner, Ayrton Senna second. Jacques Lafitte third, René Arnoux fourth, Martin Brundle fifth, Gerhard Berger sixth.
On the podium, the two Brazilians, who didn't get along well, ended up raising their country's flag. A great start for both of them. We are at the Spanish Grand Prix, where Senna wants to stay among the championship leaders. He will start in pole position.
Senna creeping a little, but he's got away well. Senna leads, Piquet second, Mansell in third position, then the two McLarens behind.
Ayrton held the lead for more than half of the race, but Nigel Mansell was gaining momentum and overtook Senna on lap 40.
No, this is the slowest part of the racetrack, leading on to the pit straight. Now, if he's going to pass him, he's going to pass him here. He's turned his boots. He'll try and get up the inside. He'll do it. He'll do it. He's done it. He's done it. Nigel Mansell takes the lead of this Gio Pepe Spanish Grand Prix from Ayrton Senna.
But Mansell began to suffer from tyre wear on his Williams, and Ayrton overtook the Englishman on lap 62.
Yesterday, and even in the passenger car, there's the move. This time. There's the move. There is the move, and Prost goes through as well, probably. Yep, Prost has done it.
Mansell's team decides to make another pit stop on lap 63 to change tyres, and the Englishman returns to the race in order to retake the lead. With 9 laps remaining, Senna has an advantage of almost 20 seconds over the British driver, but Mansell, with tyres in better condition, reduces Senna's advantage by 4 seconds per lap.
He can technically do it in 2 laps, but I think you'll find that Senna's now turned up the boost a little bit, and I think you'll see a slightly faster lap time coming out of him.
On the last lap, the gap is reduced with each corner, which keeps the excitement going until the end. On the curve that leads to the finishing straight in Jerez, the cars cross the finish line together.
Well, wait a minute. There's a lot of power in that Honda. He's going to weave down the straight. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this.
Senna wins by a tiny difference of 14 thousandths. It was an unforgettable way for Senna to claim his 3rd career victory. This victory gave the Brazilian the lead in the championship. At the San Marino Grand Prix, Senna secured his 10th pole position in his career.
Leads the pit lane as they go under starters orders. Still all the cars have passed him. The engines are revving to about 8,500 revs. The green light. The Ferrari gets away very well. He nearly got away very well. I think he'll be fast, but Ayrton Senna's in the lead.
However, on the first lap, Ayrton lost the lead to Nelson Piquet. His car began to lose performance, and Senna lost 2 more positions.
Very touchy, and Senna wants it back, but gets the door shut on him, and Keke Rosberg's having to run at him up the hill. You can see the tag power coming down onto the surface, pulling out of that corner perfectly. That's what we call putting the power down.
Arriving on the 11th lap, the right rear wheel bearing broke, taking the driver out of the race. In the 4th stage of the season at the Monaco Grand Prix, Senna starts 3rd on the grid.
And it's 78 laps to go. And it's go. Good start by Prost. Senna going through on the inside, now into the Santavot. Watch the back of your picture to see that they all get through safely. They're okay so far.
Senna jumped from 2nd place to the lead on lap 35, when Alain Prost pitted. The Brazilian led for 7 laps when he also pitted for a new set of tyres. After Ayrton's stop, he dropped to 3rd place behind Keke Rosberg. The McLarens of Prost and Rosberg were outclassed by their rivals, and Senna completed the podium in 3rd place.
And as Senna finishes in 3rd place, it is very clear that McLaren and Prost are once again the combination to beat.
In the Belgian Grand Prix, Senna will start in 4th place. This was a very emotional race at Spa because Elio De Angelis, a Brabham driver and Senna's former teammate at LÓTUS, died in an accident during a private test. At the start of the race, Senna went wide of the first corner because several cars were squeezed in. This was good for the Brazilian, who overtook Prost and Berger and gained 2 positions.
And Belloff punches Senna on the way round. Prost has been bumped as well. It's a traffic jam in Mansell, and Berger is out and Prost is out, and so is Fabi. Fabi's kept his engine running. There's a wheel off of Alan Jones's car. Berger's getting started. That was Senna that seemed to start that and leading the race away there.
Nelson Piquet's turbo broke and Senna took 1st place. But Senna's pit stop ended up being slower than Mansell's, and the British driver ended up in the lead. Senna took the race in 2nd place until the end, accelerating less at the end of the race to save fuel, and knowing that with Alain Prost's 6th place, he would take the lead in the championship. At the Canadian Grand Prix, Senna started in 2nd place, behind Mansell.
Nigel Mansell certainly making it into the first corner very clearly.
And Ayrton Senna, his arch rival, is the one who is right behind him. You see Keke Rosberg.
During the beginning of the race, Ayrton Senna was unable to attack Mansell and held 2nd place for a few laps, but lost positions.
Alain Prost has just gotten around Ayrton Senna. He is followed by his teammate Keke Rosberg, and what a move of strength it was. Alain Prost, after following for about 3.5 laps, said, "I have had enough." He moved alongside of Senna. It was very obvious that Senna did not want to give way. You can see one of the Williams cars.
And Ayrton succumbed to a slower performance over the weekend, finishing a modest 5th and 3rd in the championship so far. The United States Grand Prix in Detroit marked a joy for Brazilians who were saddened by the elimination of the Brazilian team by France in the 1986 World Cup. On the same day that Brazil was eliminated from the World Cup, Senna won another pole position at the Detroit circuit, his 4th of the year. In the race, Senna started well, but right at the start, the Brazilian made a gear mistake, which made him lose a position.
Nigel got him on the front straight. Nigel Mansell taking over in first as they came down the main straightaway, about the fastest part of the course. Senna drops into 2nd position and challenging now.
But Senna regains 1st position on lap 8.
Here we go. There he goes down the inside.
Oh, a beautiful pass by Senna. Very nice. Mansell gave him room, mind you, but it was a good pass. No, he didn't give him a lot of room, but he made a good job of that.
However, something unexpected happened to Senna. His tyre went flat on lap 14, causing the driver to drop to 8th place. Ayrton Senna was determined to recover all the positions he had lost, overtaking Stefan Johansson and Alboreto. A few laps passed, and Senna was already with Piquet, Prost, Mansell, and Arnoux. On lap 26, Senna overtook Alain Prost and was already in 5th place. And soon after, he gained the position from René Arnoux, who stopped in the pits. On lap 30, he overtook Mansell and was already in 3rd, and a lap later, Senna also overtook Lafitte and jumped to 2nd, behind only Nelson Piquet. On lap 39, Nelson Piquet stopped in the pits, and his team took a long time, stopping for almost 19 seconds. Then Senna became the leader and made a pit stop soon after, with his team acting faster.
No attention whatsoever to the driver. And how about that? 9 and 32/100 seconds for Ayrton Senna's JPS Lotus, so they deserve a pat on the back.
Senna is now the clear leader, but Piquet is driving hard in his Williams. However, Senna's compatriot ends up getting in the way.
The effort of Nelson Piquet to win his 2nd event ends here. Senna, the leader, coming by Nelson Piquet, who has crashed.
So Senna has a gap of more than 30 seconds over 2nd place Jacques Lafitte, and he just manages the pace until the end of the race.
Senna of Brazil is about to conquer, for the first time in his career, the Detroit Grand Prix. Here he comes to the line, through the chicane, the checkered flag comes out, and LÓTUS has recorded another victory.
It was during this race that one of Ayrton Senna's symbols emerged, which would be repeated many times later, carrying the Brazilian flag. Senna saw a Brazilian flag in the stands, stopped the car, asked for the flag, and continued the lap, proudly displaying his country's flag.
The Brazilian flag may not have flown over World Cup soccer, but in World Formula One Championship racing, it flies high over the Ayrton Senna, taking the Brazilian flag for a lap of honor around this 2.5-mile course. Let's go to Barry Gill.
In the race, 2nd and 3rd places went to Prost and Lafitte from France, who did better in the weekend's football, but 1st place in Formula One goes to Brazil. After this stage, Senna is once again the leader of the championship. At the French Grand Prix, Senna took his 6th pole position of the year. At the start, Mansell got off to a better start and overtook Ayrton Senna, who still tried to take the lead. But on the 3rd lap, Ayrton Senna went off the track, ending the race for him.
Very clearly, and Ayrton Senna's gone right off the road on the left-hand side of the road. He's on the loose stop. The car's going sideways. He's trying to recontrol the car, but he's heading straight for the fences. He's crashed right through the gas link. Oh, the chain link fence. He's gone right into the tires. Quite a serious bang for him. The car, he seems, I think, to be okay, but that was quite a serious situation. He's certainly out of the race. There's no way that he's going to get back in. That car is severely damaged. So Ayrton Senna, the pole sitter, the man who thought could be winning this French Grand Prix, certainly isn't going to win it today.
At the British Grand Prix at Brands Hatch, Senna started 3rd. Right at the start, Ayrton overtook Mansell's Williams.
Green light is on. The two Williams take away. It looks like Mansell got a slight advantage. It's PK and Senna going in there. Mansell had a problem. He didn't get away as quickly as he would. Normally, they're through.
But a red flag cancels the start of the race due to a multiple accident.
The red flag is out. No, it's a white flag. Red flag is being shown. Red flag.
You can see them. One of the minorities, one of the Ocellas is there involved in it. There's a Ligier, at least one. Arrows is also a car that I saw. So at least 4 cars, maybe as many as 5.
In the second start of the race, Senna maintained the dispute for the lead with Piquet and Mansell, but Ayrton was stopped by a broken gearbox on lap 27.
Yes, it's happening just down the road from the Lotus mechanics being very quick. They have a problem. The Lotus mechanics definitely have a problem on that right rear, it looks like. It's a very long stop. They're all looking at it. It could be a cross thread. Everything seems to be going very well. Ayrton Senna does not like to sit in the pits for up to 25 seconds. His Brazilian temper.
At the German Grand Prix in Hockenheim, Senna will start third on the starting grid, and Ayrton made a spectacular start.
Watch for the green light.
The driver jumped from third to first place. But Ayrton Senna was not able to perform with his Lotus and was losing positions to Rosberg, Piquet and Prost, being in fourth on the 5th lap. In the first half of the race, Senna saved his car to give full performance in the final laps. And during the second half of the race, Ayrton was already approaching Alain Prost. At the end of the race, Senna increased his pace and overtook Prost.
And it looks like to me that Ayrton Senna has gone around a long road. There you saw Ayrton Senna in the Lotus.
And on the last lap, the Brazilian overtook Rosberg after the Finn missed the chicane.
Going ever so slowly, so carefully through the chicanes. The coach Rosberg tried too hard. Trying very hard. He went straight on, under braking at the chicane. There is Senna. Has Senna moved up to second? I believe he has. That's probably close right there.
Senna overtook the 2 McLarens that had fuel problems, finishing in second place, Piquet in first, and Mansell in third. At the Hungarian Grand Prix, at the Hungaroring, Senna had another pole position, his 6th of the year. At the start, he had good traction and held the lead.
They're ready for a green and they're off. Senna makes a fantastic start. So does Mansell. Mansell has come alongside Piquet. Alain Prost is there. Technically Rosberg, the 2 Williams, and Mansell takes it in the inside. So first is Senna, second is Mansell, third is Piquet.
But on lap 11, Piquet closed in, and Senna was overtaken on the main straight curve.
And there you see the new leader in this Hungarian Grand Prix. He's just done it. Nelson Piquet went underneath Ayrton Senna at the end of the straight, going into the 3rd gear corner, and here you see the replay.
On lap 36, Senna retook the lead when Piquet pitted. Later, Senna also pitted and his team took longer, but Ayrton came back ahead of Piquet anyway. But Piquet's Williams was more efficient than Senna's car, and on lap 53, Piquet passed Senna, but soon after Ayrton regained the lead. On lap 57, it was not possible for Ayrton. Piquet delayed braking again, while Senna gave up the outside for Nelson to try the maneuver. This is considered one of the most beautiful overtaking moves in the history of Formula One. Piquet then built up a lead that he was able to manage well and crossed the finish line in first place. Senna was second and Mansell completed the podium. Now in the Austrian Grand Prix, Senna starts in a modest position in 8th place on the grid. In 13 laps, Ayrton Senna had already stopped 3 times in the pits, but on the 3rd time, it was not possible to continue the race, as his engine was definitely no longer in a condition to continue the race. At this stage, it is already known that Renault will no longer continue in Formula One with Lotus, and that there is only one fulfillment of the contract. In the Italian Grand Prix, Senna's participation lasted a mere 15 seconds.
And they're off. And the Williams seems to have it. Christian Danner going slowly. A clean start so far. Car almost stopped, almost stopped.
Looked like Senna, Jack.
And there you see, and it is Berger who's taken the lead.
Ayrton had to abandon the race due to a broken gearbox. At the Portuguese Grand Prix, Senna achieved his 7th pole position. He arrived as the favorite to win the race, having won the same race in Estoril the previous year. However, he had problems at the start, and Mansell overtook him.
Green light is on, and so is the Portuguese Grand Prix. Ayrton Senna certainly makes a great start, but it's the Honda that pulls him down this long straightaway.
Ayrton Senna was in 2nd place until the last lap of the race, but his car lacked fuel, and Ayrton saw Prost and Piquet overtake him and had to settle for 4th place. At the Mexican Grand Prix, Senna secured his 8th pole position of the year. He has already secured more than half of the possible pole positions of the season. On the starting grid, he formed a 1-2 with Nelson Piquet of Williams. After the first corner, Piquet took the lead, with Senna in 2nd and Berger in 3rd.
Taking it from Senna on this very first lap. Of course, he knows he's got to go out for a win in this World Championship, and it opens the championship.
On lap 45, Senna made his 2nd pit stop, dropping to 3rd position.
The mechanics are absolutely professional. Of course, you have the one American on the key there on the left right. It's a very, very smooth, very controlled stop. I think it was maybe one of the quickest. Very quickly, what Derek Warren was saying about the breathing.
Berger took the checkered flag to win for the first time in Formula One, while Prost achieved an exceptional result to try to become champion, and Senna finished on the podium in 3rd. At the end of the race, the world awaits the championship decision between Mansell and Alain Prost, with Piquet competing on the outside. For Senna, the only thing left to do is compete for 3rd place in the Formula One World Championship. At the Australian Grand Prix in Adelaide, Senna started in 3rd position.
Green light. And there's certainly a traffic jam in there in the middle. Alboreto hit.
At the start, Ayrton took the lead at the 2nd corner, leaving Mansell behind.
And look at Senna comes screaming by and to take the lead into the 2nd corner.
But at the end of the first lap, Senna was overtaken by Nelson Piquet.
Playing for the victory at this point, but it's Piquet going around Senna. You can see the sparks flying up down the straightaway, and Piquet heavily on the brakes, and he's got Senna, and he's in the lead right at the very end of that long straightaway.
Senna's car did not seem to be performing as well as it had in the first half of the season, and on the 2nd lap, he lost his position to Rosberg, and then to the British driver Mansell and the French driver Alain Prost, who were competing for the championship. And Ayrton remained in 5th place until the pits on lap 42. However, on lap 44, the race ended for Senna because his engine broke. The spotlight of the day was on Alain Prost, who, because of Nigel Mansell's retirement on lap 63, was crowned world champion again. Ayrton Senna said goodbye to Renault engines at the end of the 1986 season. The next engine supplier will be the Japanese brand Honda. Despite constant struggles with the Renault engine in his Lotus, Ayrton Senna finished the competition in 4th place with 55 points. Out of the 16 races, he had 2 victories, 8 podiums, 8 pole positions, and 5 races in which his car broke down. In the next video, we will summarize Ayrton Senna's 1987 season. In 1987, Honda began equipping its Lotus, which changed color from black and gold to yellow. This video will be on our playlist, which will summarize all the seasons of the Brazilian driver. Like, subscribe, and activate the bell. See you in the next video.